People of the internet, the Rogansphere is collapsing right before our eyes. 2025 is turning out to be the worst year for the Rogansphere, and today we're going to talk about it and a possible solution for the Rogansphere. But before we do this, I want to watch this short little clip that basically sums up the Rogansphere's situation.
Have you ever wondered what happened to simple laughter? That era when comedy was just comedy, a sanctuary where we escaped the weight of existence. But look around now. We are witnessing the greatest divorce in entertainment history. The Rogansphere, once hailed as the bastion of free speech, is now being exposed as a sinking ship. As revealed by Kyle Kulinski and John Marco Sacy, the comedy fraternity isn't just fractured, it's shattered. Let's talk about Austin, Texas. It's no longer just a city, it is the mothership. They call it a haven, but it resembles an isolated island. Historically, whether you were a Democrat or a Republican, you shared the stage at the Comedy Cellar. But now, an invisible wall has been erected. The comedians in Austin are living in a bubble, deluding themselves into believing they are warriors against cancel culture, speaking truth to power. But the reality? They have become exactly what they mocked, servants of power. Here is where it gets ridiculous. The hypocrisy. Look at the likes of Andrew Schultz or Tim Dillon. They invite the most powerful people on earth, like Donald Trump, onto their platforms. They possess the opportunity to challenge, to extract truth. Instead, they giggle, they stroke egos, and when the public pushes back, when it's pointed out that their guests are spreading falsehoods, these comedians deploy their ultimate shield. Hey, relax, I'm just a comedian. It is the game of Schrodinger's douchebag. They demand to be respected as intellectual heavyweights when the clips go viral, but beg to be treated as court jesters when the criticism lands. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot dine with presidents and pretend you are just an ignorant child. And then we have Russell Brand, the ultimate case study in the grift. From a socialist championing equality to a born-again right-wing zealot the moment allegations against him surfaced. Is that faith? Or is it a business strategy? It is a confidence trick. They sell outrage, they sell conspiracies wrapped in the guise of spiritual awakening. So, is the Rogansphere truly fucked? Financially, perhaps not yet. But artistically, spiritually, comedy used to be the mirror we held up to society. But when the jester shakes hands with the king, the mirror breaks. Stay awake. Don't let your laughter be weaponized.
This year has been an absolute doozy for the Rogansphere. We've seen them get the backlash for their politics. We've seen them get the constant backlash from their flip-flopping on people, ideas, and narratives that best suit their needs. We have seen the Akash Singh situation. We have seen Bert Kreischer fall apart even more than he has. We've seen the relationship with his wife fall apart just like Akash's. We have seen Tom Segura cut ties, end everything, and just run on off, quit comedy, and start making movies. The point of this is we've seen so many failures this year in the Rogansphere, so much hypocrisy in the Rogansphere, and just like that video said, we have seen them serve the people they once mocked. It is bad for the Rogansphere, but what is even worse is what it is for people. The Rogansphere have single-handedly destroyed comedy. They have single-handedly flooded themselves into the space to where no other comedians' voices get heard unless you go out and search for them or, like with records, dig through the crates. But most of the people, most of the mainstream audience will never dig through those crates, and thus the Rogansphere will be comedy to them. It is a sad time, and it is a sad situation. But there is something you can do about it, and what you need to do about it is to stop listening to them. They are not comedy. Hell, they are not even funny. And honestly, there's another solution. And we should just make it official. What we need to do is force Joe Rogan to buy Epstein Island. Once he has bought Epstein Island, we send Joe Rogan over there for 1 month, and Joe Rogan will get really lonely. And then we send all of the rest of the Rogansphere over there, along with all of the Kill Tony fans. There's enough for all of them. There's plenty of space. And then we build a giant fence around Epstein Island, right? And right in the water, so they can't swim past it. But they will be okay, because for about a year or so, they'll be pleasantly distracted with each other, because it will be all men on that island. And then Joe Rogan and the rest of the Rogansphere can come out of the closet, which everybody will celebrate. And they'll come out of the closet, and then they'll just start mingling with all the men. And you know how the story goes. So they'll be completely content. And then after a year, after they've had every lust and thing pulled out of their body and onto other people's bodies, then we build them a comedy stage at Epstein Island. And then it'll get competitive comedy. Point is, if we send them to Epstein Island, Joe Rogan will be happy because he'll be surrounded by men. So will Tony. The hell, Tony and Rogan's relationship might get even deeper than it's gotten deep before. But what will that do for the people? Well, we would have gotten rid of all of the edgelord comedy from our society, secluded it to an island, and they'll just keep themselves content. They're not smart enough to realize the difference. But our society will improve. Comedy will start looking at other people that are actually funny, and the mainstream media will have to look at them because the people will want them. Comedy will get better. We'll heal the world. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. And I think that's a good solution. But I know it's a long shot. So honestly, just stop listening to them. Just stop giving them your attention. They haven't solved any of your problems. They've only made it worse. They've wrecked our politics. They've wrecked our comedy. They've wrecked the podcast world. Hell, Akash even wrecked his own life with marrying that crazy ass woman. And they trash each other too, and they wreck each other's lives. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about anybody but their financial advisor and what he says and tells them so they can make more money. You are now just a product. You are now just an ATM machine for the Rogansphere. It's no longer about the love of comedy. It's no longer the love of hanging out with the dudes and talking some shit. It's for the love of money, greed, and power. But the people have spoken. And the Rogansphere has been exposed. And will continue to be exposed. And their lives are crumbling before us because you did stop listening. I'm proud to say today that you and me are witnessing history. This Real Housewives of Austin season has been the best season so far. Packed full of drama. I'm glad to be here with you. So keep on watching, because this shit's getting juicy. But don't listen to them. We'll talk about them. There's plenty of channels like us. Don't support them, because they're bad for people. They're bad for men. They're bad for the health of humanity. And they're just ruining everything they're touching. Keep your heads up. See you later.
Don't stand